And on your screen is the man so many are talking about, FIFA President Sepp Blatter. This is the 65th FIFA Congress. And mounting pressure on this man to step aside. We'll listen in for a bit.
We, or I, cannot monitor everyone all of the time. If people want to do wrong, they will also try to hide it. But it must fall to me to bear the responsibility for the reputation and well-being of our organization and to find a way forward to fix things. I will not allow the actions of a few to destroy the hard work and the integrity of the vast majority of those who work so hard for football. I must stress that those who are corrupt in football are in a tiny minority, like in society, but like in society, they must be catched and held responsible for their actions. Football cannot be the exception of the rule. That is our responsibility at FIFA, and we will cooperate with all authorities to make sure anyone involved in wrongdoing from top to bottom is discovered and punished. There can be no place for corruption of any kind. The next few months will not be easy for FIFA. I'm sure more bad news may follow, but it is necessary to begin to restore trust in our organization. Let this be the turning point. More needs to be done to make sure everyone in football behaves responsibly and ethically, and everywhere, also outside of the field of play, where there is no referee, no boundaries, and no time limit. Football, the fans, the players, the club, the world deserve so much more, and we must respond. Tomorrow, the Congress, we have the opportunity to begin on what will be a long and difficult road to rebuilding trust. We have lost their trust, or at least a big part of it. And we must now earn it back. We must earn it back through the decisions we make, through the expectations we place on each other, and through the way we behave individually. And that brings me to tonight's ceremony. You have seen that. The opening ceremony is about football, the spirit of the game, the aspect of football that make it so loved by so many. Our cast of artists and dancers will bring this spirit to life tonight, and I thank them all for their hard work on preparing for this show under these special circumstances. I'm sure you will agree they are great and talented cast and crew. It is important that we do not lose sight of the spirit of football. I hope that this show will remind us what we are fighting for and why we must continue to fight for positive change in football, even when some among us let us down. So please, enjoy our show. Enjoy it. But that I ask you also to reflect on why a vast majority, we are all in football and we like this game. Not for greed, not for exploit, not for power, but because of love for the game, for this game, to serve others and to achieve positive change through responsible leadership. Solidarity and unity is asked for the game, for the world, for peace. Thank you. Good evening.
FIFA President Sepp Blatter there talking about what I took to be from football to world peace, and we'll look at how those two mesh. But he did acknowledge these are unprecedented and difficult times for FIFA, but also said, and I quote, "I cannot monitor everyone all of the time." So perhaps taking a step back from that responsibility that many people might have been listening for. We're going to continue with this story because my next guest says Sepp Blatter actually established a culture that encourages exploitation, encourages corruption. Andrew Zimbalist is a sports economist and author of several books, in fact, about the business of money in sports, and he joins me live via Skype from Northampton, Massachusetts. Great to have you on the program, Andrew. I know you were listening to what Sepp Blatter had to say, and he said, you know, they're in this game not for greed, not to exploit, not for power, but because of love of the game. But actions might speak a different story, don't you think?
Yeah, for sure. Words are cheap. He can say anything he wants to say. He's good with words. He's a charmer. He's known to be a charmer. But his actions going back to even before 1998, when he became the head of FIFA, speak very differently about what this man represents. He has been directly engaged in, has instigated, has been the chief choreographer of corruption in FIFA. He has watched and stood behind and encouraged people to buy votes for hosting the FIFA tournament, for hosting some of the qualifying tournaments. And the man himself lives very high on the hog. He lives like royalty and expects to be treated like royalty. And he doesn't want to give. He can say anything.
Andrew, he doesn't want to give that up because he says he's not going to sit on the sidelines. Tomorrow, FIFA votes. There will be 209 members who will vote tomorrow, and we'll be watching that ballot as well. But he did say that he cannot monitor everyone all of the time. So, you know, take me off the responsibility chain. But then he said it's up to him to fix it. Is this fixable?
Well, he's not going to fix anything. He'll try to paper over some of the ugliest parts of the FIFA organization. But he's had an opportunity to do things for a long time. People have known about his modus operandus going back to 1998. And there, you know, most recently there was a report of Michael Garcia that FIFA commissioned to look into whether or not the 2018-2022 choices of Russia and Qatar were corrupted. And the report came out to FIFA, and FIFA wouldn't let anybody see it. Finally, FIFA produced a summary of the report, and Michael Garcia disowned it. He disavowed it. He said, "This is not representing what I said. It's misleading." So that was just a few months ago. So he's had lots of opportunities to right the ship, and he's never done so. I don't see any reason to believe that the future will be any different if he, in fact, is elected again tomorrow, and it does seem like he will be.
This is, at the bottom line, though, about the bottom line. A lot of money at stake. Sponsors deciding they're not going to want to be part of this. How much of an effect will that all have?
Probably not very much. I mean, look, Coca-Cola and Nike and Adidas, sponsors have known for a long time what goes on in FIFA, and as long as they can be associated with the glory of the World Soccer Organization and the World Cup, and they get their exposure, it doesn't matter very much if people think FIFA is a good organization or a bad organization. And so I think that probably the sponsors are looking at what happened yesterday and thinking to themselves, well, maybe this is the beginning of a long process that will clean FIFA up. So it's, if anything, it's positive news. But I don't think that Blatter is going to get upset all of a sudden or change the way he does business just because Coca-Cola or other companies issue a statement, really, which they have to issue. They have to say, this is very disgruntling, and we're very concerned about this.
Okay.
But it's disingenuous. They've known about this for many years.